Hey Lauren, how you going? Here we are
Hey,
again.
Cher.
How are you?
Oh, it's so good to see you again. I'm so glad we could do this again, even though it's not on our normal day.
Not
But
on
both
our
of us are
normal day.
flexible and we want to get out there. So,
Yeah, we thought we'd come in a little bit earlier this week and just have a bit more of a chat. You never know when we're going to pop up, really. It's a bit of like a surprise element, isn't it? We kind of like that little surprise element in us, don't we, Lauren?
I do like the surprise element. So, people should always be following our pages, following YouTube, following our Facebook, so you make sure you stay up to date when we are coming because it isn't always Friday night. We might throw in some wisdom in the middle of the week.
That's right. Yes, always check on our Facebook pages, our Instagram pages, and also our YouTubes. And you can also check us out on our websites. Mine's SherSlaterMedium.com and Lauren's is LaurenApplewood.com. Lauren, would you like to just start? We'll wait for people to come in. Please come and say hello, where you're from, what you're doing. Today is Friday afternoon here in Australia. So if you'd like to come in and say hello, Lauren, what time are you over there now?
It is a Thursday night here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. I'm in Seattle and it is 7:00 p.m. tonight.
Right, so if you just want to come in and say hello, Lauren and I would love to hear from you, and please make comments for us, and we're happy to answer those comments. Hi, Nikki, lovely to see you. Lauren, if you'd like to start off tonight for you over there, and just if you could just tell us a little bit how you work, please.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Cher. Thanks for passing the mic this way. So for those that don't know me or that are new to our lives, I am an intuitive energy medicine practitioner. So what that means is for me personally, I use universal healing Tao and traditional Japanese Reiki techniques in my healing process to create kind of a unique blend of cultural healing techniques. I'm also an intuitive reader. I do psychic mediumship readings where I use cards and other tools to provide guidance and clarity. And then probably my most favorite part is when I get to connect them to one of their loved ones on the other side so that there's a sense of closure. And lastly, I am an essential oil specialist certified through doTERRA. So I do essential oil consults. Now, I don't have any skin in the game, so I'm not trying to sell you products at all. This is just an educational process that I like to help my clients with. So that's what I do.
Lauren's multifaceted. She is incredible. For me, I work the same. I'm Sher Slater Medium. SherSlaterMedium.com is my website, and how I work, I'm an international Gothic psychic medium, Wiccan witch. I've been able to connect with spirits since I was born. Basically, I've been seeing spirits since I was born. It's my life. It's how I live. I specialize as a forensic psychic medium, and I've assisted clients who have lost loved ones through suicide, missing persons, death by misadventure. My goal is to give the loved one an intimate, evidential, transformational experience with spirit. That's my absolute bliss. And my goal is also to be able to give intricate details about spirit's life and be able to give the loved one here left on this plane some love, truth, closure, healing, hope, bravery, and a passion for life. And it is a transformational experience when you sit in front of me. As if you don't know how I work, I will get to the core of things and give the proverbial boot up the bum from my unconditional love space and stand you in your truth. And it's for your highest good. But that's basically how Lauren and I work for those new people on board with us tonight and this afternoon. And for anybody that may be watching us after who can't see our lives at the moment at this time, our lives are available on our Facebooks and also on our YouTube channels. So you can find us basically anywhere, and they'll be also uploaded onto our websites as well.
Cher, where can they find you on YouTube?
Oh, I'm Sher Slater Medium on YouTube, and that's my channel. And you've got a channel too, Lauren, on YouTube as well?
Yeah, just Lauren Applewood. You'll find me there.
The amazing Lauren Applewood and the amazing Sher Slater Medium. You can look us both up on YouTube at any time, but also on our Facebook pages and also on our websites. So, yes, please drop us a line and please feel free to comment too at any time, because we love hearing from you.
And this is more of like a discussion rather than a lecture. So
yes, it is. Lauren and I come in every week, and as we know, we've done a bit of spontaneity by popping in earlier this week. But yes, we love to hear from you, and please come in and say hi. But I must say that Lauren and I are very ethical in what we do. We will not be answering any private questions or intimate questions, like questions on when I'm going to meet my next husband or whatever it is. If those questions could be made with a session with myself, booking a reading, or a session with Lauren, we'd be more than happy to work through those questions that you have in that space, in that privacy, because they are very intimate. Our readings are very intimate, and those questions are very intimate. So we'd like to just wait for those with a session with us. And as I said, you can find me on sherslatermedium.com, and Lauren is laurenapplewood.com, and you can make a booking with our services there, and also shoot us a question if you like through those services, and we'll try and answer those the best we can.
Absolutely.
Blessed be. And hello, Annette. Lovely to see you.
For going over that with us again. It's important because, you know, we have a lot of people that jump on that want quick answers to questions, and yes, unfortunately that's not the forum that we are participating in. No. It may be one day in the future where we decide to take these sorts of questions or do cards or something that's at a more broad level, not so specific to your life, because we don't want to bring that out into a public forum. We want to, you know, respect your privacy, respect our ethics as practitioners.
Yes, absolutely. We're highly ethical in where we stand. Some of the questions are very, very intimate and will not be answered in these forums. That's correct, because it is a public forum, and Lauren and I, you know, do work very ethically that way. All right, let's go, Lauren. You want to start?
What are we talking about today, Cher?
Well, we're talking about, Cher got carried away with all of the with all of the other things. So
we're out of the way first.
We have to get all those things out of the way. So it's cleansing your magical castle and blessings from opening space. And I guess the cleansing of your magical castle really isn't just your home. It's actually the castle of yourself. That's what we're talking about today. It's actually cleansing yourself as the magical castle. And that's what we're talking about today. So, Lauren, if you'd like to begin.
I mean, we
things on that.
Absolutely. You know, cleansing our magical castle. I feel like there's a couple ways to look at that, because my body is my magical castle, but also my home and my home surroundings are my magical castle as well. And if you think about a princess or, you know, someone living up high in their castle, you know, just picture it, you know, you'll see just beautiful surroundings, things that make that individual feel bright and best about themselves. So, you know, I envision lots of like sparkle and lots of color. That's what's magical to me in my castle and in my environment. But it's beyond just, you know, the furnishings and the crystals that we have placed out everywhere. It goes beyond that. And, you know, frankly, it can extend even to thinking about cleansing our magical relationships with other people. You know, not everyone is meant for us.
No, not everybody is meant for us. It's as simple as removing like negative energy around you. Often we overlook these when we're feeling the weight of old arguments and negative relationships. Old energy, even in your home and castle, or even moving into a new home. You know, sometimes there's remnants of the past people that have been in that. And also be aware of and think twice before entering somebody's home, because, you know, you've got to think about what is your intention and what's their intention. And I guess that's the same in a relationship, you know, or people that you meet and let into your realm or into your circle. What we talk about this, Lauren and I've spoken about this before, but for the new viewers, anybody that you think about your actual intention, what is your intention, and how is that reflecting out into the world, and what are you actually accepting into that, into the circle of you. You know, who are your friends? Who have you got? Besides Lauren and I are best friends, you know, and I'm very cautious of bringing people into my realm, because it not only affects me, but it affects my family that are in my circle and my other friends. So, you know, you've got to think about energetically is, and that's how I work, is who you allow into that circle and into that space. So it's all, you know, and how that affects you energetically.
Right. And when you have someone in your space that might have, let's just use a trendy word, toxic energy, you know, it might take you a week or two to figure this out, but like there's those subtle cues inside of you that are telling you this person is not right for me. And sometimes it takes a while, you know, to have enough evidence pile up to where you decide, you know what, I'm going to make the decision to cleanse you out of my life. And sometimes that means a full cleansing. So not just a see you later, we're not good for each other, but actually it can include blocking phone numbers, blocking accounts. And why do we do that? Why do we make that choice for ourselves? It's because we know that we deserve better than what that individual is giving us. And they will try to come back through text, through calls. You know, they're naturally attracted to people who live in the light and who live in their spirituality. So it's like all these things you have to watch out for to be able to stand in your truth as who you are, where you're going and where you're developing, like what your goals are, right?
Yeah, it's about setting the intention, really, what you actually want for the magical castle of you, you know, and Lauren is right. You know, sometimes we invite people into our circle, and they're the ones that, and we've spoken about this before, that sometimes you invite people into your circle that don't have the right intentions, and they come cloaked, or you don't always see them for who they truly are. So, but therein lies the lessons and the blessings in those lessons, which we've also spoken about in our last lives, if you want to go and have another look at that as well. But we continue to talk about those things because it does happen. And yeah, they're the lessons that is teaching about you. So if you've had a relationship with somebody and it hasn't worked out, then you look within yourself and go, okay, well, what was the lesson from that person that came in my life? So it's actually a blessing. They're teaching you something, because every partner that you have in your world and in your realm comes into your life for a reason. And so they actually teach you intricate things about yourself, which you probably didn't even know about until, you know, you left, and then you're raw and you're bleeding, as I say, and you're down in your dark. And then you start to look at yourself and go, well, actually, you know, that person taught me maybe how to love, how to have that unconditional love. Or, you know, they taught me something about intimacy, you know, that I was lacking before because I didn't, you know, love myself that way. You know, there's so many different things that as to why these people come into your realm. And it may not even be a partner. It could be friends, you know, friends, and even our beautiful children and our animals even teach us lessons. We're always the student. And even as Lauren and I, as psychic mediums, and Lauren as an energy healer, our clients and people that come into our realms often come into our realms as teachers, could be teachers, but also students. So our clients are actually teaching us things. It's a two-way street. It's an energy exchange in that regard. And so it's very empowering, really, with that. So, you know, yes. That's, and you know, you can be filled with someone's negative energy, and I guess our cleansing rituals, which Lauren and I are going to talk about, because I'm a witch, so I use a lot of cleansing rituals. They're useful for clearing your mind, your spirit, and your magical and a magical also for when we're casting spells, which I'm going to talk about as well. They're also great for clearing out the psychic cobwebs and that are blocking you from visualizing those intentions and or reaching your goals, which Lauren and I have spoken about, which we're going to speak about as well, because we're going to cleanse all of that, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're going to do
absolutely.
Right, royal cleanse.
We have a lot of cleansing rituals that we have to go through, because as we've become more energetically in tuned, we see how important these cleansing rituals are, because it's just a fact. We are going to gather energy when we go out into the store, go out into public. This energy of all these people that may not be for our highest good is now getting into our aura. And it gets stuck in our aura. Even just one trip to the store and I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to go and like take a bath, take a shower, go sage myself immediately when I get home. Open all the windows, you know. Like,
turn that music up in the car, right, Lauren?
Yeah.
We do that. It's as simple. If you've been in an environment that is been, like Lauren says, that is too much energy for you, or even at work, right? You often bring your work home without even realizing it. You go to work and you're wearing the same clothes, you get in your car, you're wearing the same clothes and the shoes. And, I teach my clients this, and you do the same thing. And then you come into your home wearing those shoes and those clothes. Well, you've just brought your energy from your work into your home. No wonder it's feeling very heavy. And, so I teach my clients to kick those shoes off and chuck them in the boot of the car. Turn your music on. I don't care what you want to listen to, AC/DC, Stevie Nicks, if you're Stevie Nicks kind of chick or guy. I said that for a reason, Lauren, whereas I'm more AC/DC.
Okay. Yeah.
or whatever. I'm very mixed. So it depends what mood I'm in. I could be classical too. So just depends what mood I'm in. But it's about changing that energy. So when you're leaving work or you're leaving the shops and you've had that sort of heaviness around you, the best thing you can do is like kick those shoes off, wear another pair of shoes home, and put some music on in the car, and that'll change that whole energy situation. And then if you can get home, leave your shoes outside for 24 hours so that the moon can cleanse it. I'm a biggie on that. And change as soon as you get home and have a nice shower, and then you're cleansing away that anyway. And that music on. Music is the best thing. I have music going all the time. Lauren knows me. When we see each other off air, I will always have the music going, and so does Lauren. It just raises that vibration, and we're really passionate about that. And it's also about decluttering. It's interesting, Lauren, you said about how the energy sticks. It's almost like a bit of dust. We have to declutter our Majickal Castle, don't you think? Like the castle of you. And this could be, like Lauren said, letting go of your toxic relationships and letting go of substances. And what I'm talking about, it could be, you know what I'm talking about there. Leading a healthier life also, and that's letting go of substances and things that no longer serve us or are not good for the physical body. Because while we're putting that into our physical body, we're not living our true self. It's also a good idea, and I was talking about shoes and clothing for a reason. It's decluttering, like, clearing out your old clothes and old furniture, anything that's holding that negative energy or old energy that no longer serves you, and reducing commitments, don't you think, Lauren? Being able to say no to people and no to people. I don't know how many times I've had clients going, I'm exhausted, and I say, yeah, well, you don't know how to say no. So, right. You've got to create those boundaries, right, Lauren? And, just turning off your phones and not having to answer those emails. I mean, we're so dependent on our phones, aren't we, Lauren? If we can make a list of 4 or 5 things that's important to you, then just do those things. But everything else can wait.
Well, you made a good point that I want to touch back on, which is the decluttering of your castle, of your home.
Yes.
And a big part of that also has to do with dust accumulation, because what else accumulates with the dust is the negative energy, or the energies that don't serve us, or the energies of the people that have walked in and out of our castle or house. And I don't know how many times I've been told and redirected to dust, dust, dust. Make it a daily practice. It's just part of clearing away that energy. Make sure you vacuum after that so you can get the rest of it out. Open all your windows as well, because that's going to let negative energy out, more positive to flow through. And it's always with intention. So make sure you hold that intention in your head, like I'm opening these windows to let out the negative energy, and I'm lighting my sage to clear and help clear the energies around my home. I know that I try to sage my entire apartment at least 2 to 3 times a week, and then it will depend on how many people I've had in here. That will dictate how more often I need to do it. And I just go off of my own intuition, my own psychic hits, which everyone has. Everyone is going to get that, like it's just too dirty in here, and it's just, it's going to hit you at your core. And that's telling you something. That's telling you to take action. And today we're talking about the actions you can take to clean your castle, your surroundings, and your body as well. Because and why do we do this? Why do we cleanse? Well, because what it does is it opens space in our hearts, in our bodies, in our homes for something new to come in. And I'll probably talk a little bit later about what exactly to do once you've opened that space. But that's why we do it, right?
It's why we do it. And you're right. Lauren is right. I mean, I have a lot of witchy things, which I love to talk about cleansing, because as a witch, and it is when you feel heavy. I see clients here in my beautiful magical home. So I will cleanse after I see clients, but it's also when you may feel a bit heavy in your life. There's certain things, or you feel a bit off balance. I also do it on the new moon and full moon, of course, because that's how we work in my realm. But yes, Lauren's right. We open all of our doors. I even go to the extremes and open all of my cupboards. I will almost do a spring clean and completely sage everything. My animals, my children, anybody that is that is here at the time, I will sage everything. But also because I'm part of culture as well, I have used our eucalyptus leaves as well, because it doesn't have to be sage or Palo Santo, which is amazing. It can be just things in your backyard. Just be careful if you're in Australia and you lighten some gum leaves up, because they do they do get a bit out of control, let me tell you. So, but it doesn't have to be. If you don't have your hands on sage, I mean, I grow my own sage, but if you can't get your hands on those things, there are other things that you can do to cleanse that space. But it's also cleansing yourself in the same way. It's not just the castle that we live in, but it's the castle of us. So when you're clearing that, you're actually clearing yourself as well. And I don't do mine silently. I mean, when I smoke out my castle, I actually do it to music and just let it all flow out like Lauren does, out the windows, out the doors, and have everything open, my cupboard doors, my kitchen cupboard doors, everything. So it's a bit of an event.
It is an event. It does. It takes time. It does.
Yeah,
and would you agree it takes intention behind
yes,
not just walking through the house with
no.
Isn't this nice, doesn't this smell nice,
No,
there you just like in everything in life, in your meditations, in progressing through school, through whatever you're working with in life, you have to have those clear intentions. Why are you lighting the sage? Well, one of the things that I say is, let this smoke clear any and all energies that do not serve my highest good. You must leave now. And I go through every room saying that all energies that do not serve my highest good, leave now. And that's why you have to have the windows open and the doors, as much as you can. And it works. But you have to have that intention. Also waving sage over the bed and saying, I'm only going to have restful night's sleep. I'm going to have a full night's sleep. This is where I go to relax and calm down. It's using your words and your intentions very wisely, or else that sage smoke really doesn't know what to do.
That's exactly it, Lauren. It's like you do set that intention, and I set the intention. I actually have what we call spells, which are just like affirmations, and they're only for myself. I must say, once again, as a Wiccan witch, the spells that we do are just like affirmations, and they are only for myself, and they are not used on anybody else. And so there's nothing to fear in doing a spell and casting those spells. And I will talk about casting spells, because they are just for yourself. They are not meant for anybody else, because everything you send out comes back to you threefold. And Lauren, you touched on something amazing again about the power of our words and our intention. And that's exactly, Lauren and I work very energetically that way, and we work in similar ways but different ways. So, you know, I always say and believe that everything we say, speak, type, write, think goes out to the universe and comes back to you threefold. So be very careful when you're doing this work and clearing that space, because you want it in your highest intention, and be careful of the words you use. Like Lauren said, you know, over the bed, yes, that's a brilliant thing. We do it as well as witches, and it's about casting that intention that is of an unconditional love space, and your home is an unconditional love space. And, you know, even if I have to say those words again, Lauren, do I need to say my fabulous saying that I'm worthy? Shall I say that? I'm going to say it again so everybody can hear it. You know, even if it's saying this, I'm worthy of unconditional love. I send unconditional love. I surround myself with unconditional love, for I am unconditional love. You can even do that while you're saging your magical space, saging yourself, because that is the power of the word. It's the power of the word.
It is the power of the word. And on a psychic or scientific quantum level, those thoughts have vibrations and waves, and some are of a higher vibration and some are of a lower vibration.
Yes.
We get to choose which one feels best to us. And sometimes people are, you know, in such a state of stress and, you know, high emotion that they may have a hard time, you know, either deciding how to move forward, how to de-stress themselves, which is, it's part of the cleansing. It's part of the cleansing in reducing the stress that we have in our lives and the way we look at the events and stress in our lives.
Exactly. And that's it in a nutshell, really. It's how we actually look at those things, but it's also how it affects us as well. So I think we can talk about some of the rituals that you and I do, apart from the saging. And let me tell you, I've got a nice bit of sage there, and how we cleanse ourselves. It's not only just about you know, saging your home and all about that. I mean, that's a very big thing for us to do, and Lauren does it as well, and we clear that energy that way. But there are different rituals that Lauren and I how we work. So I can tell you about a particular ritual. Or do you want to start with your rituals, Lauren?
No, please. I want you to. Yes.
I'm in my element with my witchy rituals.
Yeah, you're on a roll. Keep going.
All right. So with the sage, you can also use your Palo Santo, and that's just like a wood. Your pink quartz also, I think Lauren's got pink quartz, which she'll show you about. Pink. She's got rose quartz. Look at that. Beautiful.
Rose quartz. About compassion, love, kind of brings you back to just, you know, center. Yes. And about who we truly are, which is pure compassion and love.
Absolutely. So it's very powerful, those things. And also Salvia Shasta is also used to warn off any illness and guide and to guide spiritual journeys. So yes, we've spoken about that. So another thing we do is like a ritual cleansing bath. This is a bit of a witchy thing to do. So these bars are ancient rituals performed by old gods, and in modern day crafting as well for us witches. We do this all the time. We use these as an essential part of preparing for our Sabbaths, as they cleanse our mind, body, spirit. And as witches, we also use these if we're feeling heavy, which I've spoken about, presence of negative energy, and equally we use those in our magical work as well. A cleansing bath is sometimes known for us witches as an uncrossing. It may be used in itself or in conjunction with other measures. And it's simply done, and Lauren will talk about this as well because she has another ritual that she does, but it's simply by infusing the water and surrounding bath, including the air, with objects, scents, meditative intentions. It's all about the intention when you're doing this. It is so incredibly powerful. And if you're not able to bath, this ritual can be done either infused water or even salts, herbs rubbed over your body, starting from the feet and working upward for attraction. But if you're wishing to wash away the negativity, work from the head down. So you get your bath salts. Cher's got a bit of, that's Himalayan salt, which is very witchy for you. And place your herbs around, get the herbs going, get your crystals out and your candles as well. Whatever, set your intention. So with whatever you like. I mean, I use all candles and all of those things. Another thing is that you can have your incense going as well. Epsom salts is great. Black salt is even better because it draws out toxins out of the body. There's also other witchy herbs. I'm just going to run through a quick list of my herbs, Lauren. Some dried peppermint, which is calming, and also for your third eye activation. It's good also for anxiety and depression. Dried spearmint is also for protection as well. Black pepper also is good for negative energy. Jasmine buds, oh my God, they're the most beautiful thing on the planet. That's spiritual love, Lauren. Lunar magic, divine nation, and that is actually called Queen of the Night. Whoa, up my alley. And sacred lotus, which is another beautiful thing for enhancing psychic development. Calendula keeps away negative energy, and you can even use that at your front door. You can even hang calendula at your front door. Rosebuds, rose petals, dried lavender, and the list goes on. So I think whatever really talks to you, there's other witchy rituals which we'll talk about, but that cleansing bath is a fabulous place to start. And just whatever talks to you really for that. And as I said, it doesn't have to be a bath. You can actually at times, if you don't have a bath, you can just rub yourself with some of the salt, some of the Himalayan salt, and cleanse away what no longer serves you, and release that.
That's fascinating, Cher. Thank you so much for sharing. I think you're more closely connected with the earth and the actual physical herbs that come from the earth.
Yes.
In the work that I do, I lead people to the same thing that you're talking about, but in essential oil form. So, it's a little bit more concentrated. So, we have things like calendula oil, lavender, tea tree, jasmine, yang liang, all sorts of essential oils, that can be just drip drop into your bath. So same sort of thing. Absolutely. It's just a more concentrated form of that herb.
You could use it on your skin too. Is that right, Lauren? That you could use that as those oils, essential oils on your skin, just, at the would it be at the temples and at the points, like you do a perfume.
Sure.
And that would also clear that energy. Is that right too, Lauren?
It is actually one of my favorite essential oils for grounding is called Balance, and it's through doTERRA, who I'm a certified coach with. Again, I don't try to sell the oil to you. I educate you on what the oil is. And Balance, a lot of these they're a combination of several oils put together, rubbed on certain points, rub it on your third eye even. And it's amazing. Within 2 minutes, I'm already feeling so much more grounded. And then if you combine that with some sort of yoga or qi gong energy work practice, you become more sensitive to how these oils affect your body. Because it go, you can smell it, comes in here. It actually then rests on your palate after you've inhaled it, and it goes, through the rest of your body, and it's almost like an immediate energy change.
It's all about shifting that energy, I think, for when you're in this space, because when you do feel a bit heavy, or you're feeling that negative energy around you, and you're wanting to clear that out of your energy, I think it's everything. I think it's the essential oils, it's the smells. For me as a witch, I've always got my candles, my incense going, because it changes the energy in my home and my castle, makes me feel good. I put music on. Why? Because it makes me feel great. And I think if you can make those changes in your realm, it doesn't necessarily need to be on a daily basis like we do, but certainly when you're feeling those moments of heaviness, or if you're feeling, like Lauren said, with negative energies in your home, that can also happen if you are highly spiritual. Sometimes those negative energies come into your home, and also spirits will come into your home that are not really for you. So yes, you do the smudging and ask them to leave out the window, out the door, and go to the light. That's another way of doing things. But yes, certainly, if it's just about changing that energy, really, and changing things that no longer serve you, that's making you feel weighted down. It could have just been a phone call or something that didn't go so well. It could be, something you've heard on the radio or on the news that has stayed with you. It could be just the simplest of things. And I think if you can come back to your base, your core, your castle, and then just release that and be able to cleanse that from you, you'll feel a lot lighter.
Yeah, and to touch back on music a little bit, like, I don't know how many people can relate to going through a breakup or experiencing difficulties in their relationship. And like, for me, at least, sometimes I will turn to like classic 90s rock, like Nirvana, Audio Slave, a whole bunch of people that were like kind of from my era that are just like, they're screaming their songs out. They're just screaming. They're getting that emotion out. And by blasting that really loud can then set us into a new space, almost like, oh, okay, I got that out of my system. Okay. I'm feeling, so I'm going to listen to some music. And I can guarantee within like two songs, I am like, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm ready for some more relaxing music. But music is healing, and learn to use it to help affect your mood throughout the day.
Exactly.
I happen to like, listening to a certain type of music if I'm working, or if I'm writing, if I'm dancing, if I'm cleaning the house. It's all different, but it's all energy.
It's all energy, and it's all about uplifting you. That's the most important thing. It's all about, uplifting you, and whatever really talks to you, really. I think that, Lauren and I both are very musical based, and so we love our music and we love connecting with that, and it talks to us. And certainly when we're feeling a bit low, and I can tell you, yesterday I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. So just personally for me, there was things that were going on in my own realm. Yesterday I was going, wow, this is too much for me. And I said to Lauren, I actually messaged Lauren and I said, that's it, I'm off to the bush. And,
see you later.
See you later. Not for good. I'm not going for good. I was just going off because I needed that grounding and that earthing. So I did go to my beautiful bushwalks, and I was able to reconnect with nature, and that's a witchy thing for me to do as well, and stand underneath my waterfalls again, because that's what cleanses. I'm so very blessed where I live here in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. I'm very blessed to have so many waterfalls and so be surrounded by the most magical nature that that has chosen me to be here. It is the most incredible place. I'm very blessed here in Australia, as Lauren is where she lives as well, because I know she's also surrounded by bush. We've been chosen to live in these places by Spirit. Spirit chose this beautiful magical home of mine, and I'm very blessed to be able to do that. But yes, into the water I went, and I can tell you, and I sent Lauren some pictures, and I said I feel so much better just after that 1 hour walk, and that's the self-love of me. And it's just about finding what talks to you, whether it be a waterfall or the ocean or creeks or rivers,
Yes.
or even just like Lauren and I have spoken about, if you're unable to, because a lot of people have mobility problems as well,
Yes.
or issues where they're unable to get to these beautiful places. So even just to visualize yourself in that space and in that nature, or watch something like Lauren does, the various meditation things that Lauren has, where you can watch those things and just set that intention and imagine that the water is running over you and being able to
absolutely
earth yourself that way. But yes, that's just a little bit of how, and I feel, let me tell you, once I did that hour walk, I was ready to do a reading and I was all sparkly and fiery, because sometimes
you're feeling recharged.
You feel recharged, your energy lifts up and you're feeling amazing. So and that's why I feel so great today as well. So yes, it is about going to nature and release and craft and empowering you.
It is. And I am not as physically able as Cher, possibly, due to my own limitations. And so what I do is I go to, we have a beautiful creek that flows for several miles throughout my local area here. And so I'll go to a park where there's easy walking, but that will bring me right up to that flowing water, because it's the flowing water energy that we need to cleanse ourselves. And so I'll just walk easily in there, sit by the creek, meditate, put my hands in the water, feel it flow around me, and to understand this is nature. You go with the flow. And that's one of the main teachings of the Tao, which is what I follow and use in my healing sessions, is to go with the flow.
Absolutely.
It's a non-resistance.
Yeah, and it could be even just getting out in, of an evening as well, Lauren, and looking up at the stars and the universe and being,
my gosh,
and being
that's
grateful.
One of my favorite things to do.
That's my favorite thing as well. There is nothing better for me to stand out, especially when there's a full moon, which is coming. Yeah, I know it's coming. You can feel it, right? That's a whole separate subject, which we'll probably talk about next week again. Lauren loves it when I talk about.
We have a lot to say on that.
She knows my rituals about how we stand out in the goddess and cleanse ourselves, and I have been known to do that, to cleanse myself out there, and yes, and it's not dressed. So
see, Cher, you can do that because you kind of live in the bush. I'm right onto the bush. I have a high density apartment complex that I live in, and
you can imagine yourself that way, Lauren.
Robe around me, but girl, I am out there every full moon,
Lauren,
those energies.
Lauren's accepting
with a wrap on.
Yeah, with a wrap. I'm very blessed that I don't have any neighbors.
I don't have a private backyard like you do. And let me just say, if I did, I think I'd be like doing way more of Cher's practices and.
Yeah. It's liberating and it's beautiful, but you can also do it in the waterfalls as well, but we're not
and speaking of the waterfall, I wanted to jump off of that, because again, not everyone can go into a waterfall, but what
that's right.
That simulates, we can simulate that in the shower.
Yes.
The shower happens to be one of my favorite cleansing methods. Because for one, I do like to Reiki the shower head before I go under the water. So that's one way to increase the positive energy You can Reiki anything, your car, your bed, your house, your room, yourself, your shower head. The reason is because it actually changes the energetic vibration of that water coming out. But it's key to set the intention that this water will heal me for my highest good, and then to stand under it. And then what I like to do is place a smoky quartz crystal on the bottom of the tub, basically underneath me, underneath my legs, because this is an added layer of protection / cleansing. Smoky quartz absorb. They're just natural sponges for negative energy. And I have to say that when I use these in my shower, I come out a whole new person. I went in one way, come out thinking and feeling a whole new direction.
And Lauren, can you also talk about, I know we've spoken about this before as well, about the coloured lighting, because I think even coloured lighting, is that the coloured lighting, you can even have, I mean, I use the candles and all my witchy stuff, even the coloured lighting and the energy in that bathroom and having living plants. I'm a big believer of having living plants in every space that I can get them in, and particularly in my bathroom and things like that, because it's all energy based. So it's like a sacred space almost.
Oh, sacred. And the color therapy, actually one thing that I do for my candles is I will buy a color that I'm feeling I need more of in my life. And so I'd say about 6 months ago, I bought a set of orange tea lights because I wanted more passion and creativity and sexuality in my life. And so I have orange tea lights everywhere. And when I get moved again, I may buy a new color of candle, right, to have. And it's not just the candles, it's the clothes, it's the blankets you have, it's all of that, right?
It's all of that. And Lauren and I, before we came on the live, actually, we were just talking about the colours that even Lauren and I are wearing today, which we metaphysically, what it represents. You know, I'm wearing red, and the colour, you know, and I use my own colors. I mean, I wear a lot of black because I am Gothic. It's like the 7 chakras are in alignment. That's what the black is all about. And it's just me, who I am. But as a witch, as a Gothic too, the colors red and purple also talk to me. So I wore red today, and I was thinking, I'm feeling real passionate about it. But it really, in metaphysical talking, the color red is physical energy. It is actually about passion, courage, power, and desire. Red symbolizes energy, action, confidence, courage, and change, and it brings passion and strength to relationships and work. And I chose this thinking, I feel great in this. I mean, I choose things to wear that make me feel great. And you know, I love choosing what I wear, and what I wear is what I wear. It's just me. I love it, and it makes me feel great, and it uplifts me, and raises my energy because I feel amazing in what I choose. And so it was interesting that I chose the color red, and Lauren, you chose the color.
I've been wearing pink today, and pink again. Back to my rose quartz.
Yes,
is about innocence, love, playfulness, compassion. So it's like a lesser version of the red. It's not as intense and powerful as the red. It's a little bit more subdued. And I believe, frankly, these two colors represent both of our personalities quite well. Not to say that I'm not a powerful being. Because we're all powerful. We are all extremely powerful, no matter what color clothes we wear, no matter how we do our hair, no matter whatever. But one thing that Cher and I have learned is how to use color. Use color in our lives to change vibration, okay? Because like today, I went through my day wearing a gray sweatshirt and sweatpants, and it never ceases to amaze me how clothing choices will affect my vibration and affect my energy. So I mean, I used to be a person that would go out in public wearing my sweats, my sweatshirts, my hoodies, all gray, all, and I thought, yeah, who cares? This is who I am. I don't care what people think about me or what they want to think. I know who I am. But then I learned later on that color is powerful, and color conveys a message. And I've, over the past year or so, incorporated so much more color into my wardrobe, and so many amazing things have come into my life that I would never have expected, because I'm putting myself out there at a different vibrational rate than if I were to wear my gray baggy sweats and say, oh, who cares? Who cares? Well, it turns out I care. Turns out I care how I come across to other people, and I get a better response when I'm in my full authenticity, just like you share. I mean, if you were to go out in sweats, no one would maybe look twice.
I don't even have sweats.
Of course not.
Bless your heart. I don't have sweats, but I understand where Lauren comes from. I do wear a lot of black, but the black is because it talks to me, and I feel it. I'm surrounded by black. I am Gothic, but in Gothic there is the reds and the purples, and I do have, as you can see today, I do have colours on, and I just felt drawn to wear the red today because it is about uplifting and changing the energy. Although Lauren saw me earlier in black, but there's always colour in my home. My candles, and I always pick fresh flowers because I'm very nature based, and so there are colours. I may be wearing all the black, and as I said, it is about the 7 chakras for me in alignment. It does talk to me. It does make me feel great. I wear colours that like Lauren said, she wears colours that talk to her. It's just whatever makes you feel magical on the inside, and that's the most important thing. I have a particular look. Lauren has her unique look as well, and everybody else has their own unique. It's just whatever talks to you and what makes you feel great and what makes you feel awesome, because that's what you want in your life. So then that's what this is how I am. And do I go to the supermarket looking like this? Yes, I damn well do.
That's why I love you.
That's what we are. Real. We are very real and very authentic. So we are who we are. We're not going to change for anybody, because we're just real, and that's the bottom line. Yes, we are psychic mediums, and we do have our work as well, which is our absolute bliss. But we do stand in the truth that way, and we are very real, and we do have that human side of us as well.
Yeah, so thank you, Cher, for going over a lot of those different cleansing rituals and things that we can do to cleanse our castle. And now before we end, I just really want to touch on things that we can do to cleanse our physical bodies.
Yes.
On maybe a deeper level.
Yes.
So of course, we all have stress. Every single person in this world is under some amount of stress. And it's all relative. It's all valid. No one's stress or issues is any worse or any better than anyone's else. Because we're all unique and we all experience it in a different way.
Yes.
My favorite way to cleanse energies from my body is actually going to an energy healing session. So, little plug for myself. But what happens out of an energy healing session is you leave feeling calmer, more level-headed, freer. You can breathe freely, breathe easier. You can even make clear decisions and come out more confident. Like, whoa, I feel lighter. I don't feel that burden on my shoulders. So that's one way to do some cleansing. Some more ideas that I have is I happen to personally be really into Chinese medicine, since it's basically where the universal healing Tao Qigong system came from, and they operate on Chinese medicine principles, which those principles are, it's about prevention techniques rather than treating a problem. So the Chinese try to address and heal before a major problem shows up and we have to go to the hospital and get medicine and help at a Western medicine hospital. And Another one is embodiment practices. This is a word some people may have heard of, some people may not have heard of. Basically, embodiment practices is getting back to body awareness. Okay, so awareness of what's happening inside of your body and all those subtle cues. And one of the main ways that I personally achieve this is through a practice called Qigong, which is spelled Qigong. And it's an ancient Chinese exercise and healing technique. Cultivating our qi, our energy, is so important. We need vital energy in our bodies, not stagnant. We need vital force. And so Qigong exercises help release what no longer serves us, and then can bring in that vital force energy. And they do this through breathing techniques, the lungs being the gateway to our energy centers, basically. And the lungs allow us to release toxic chi, toxic energy. And then when we inhale, we breathe in the vital energy and allow it to circulate within us. And so it's a process, can take 10, 20, 30 minutes as we sit there breathing and visualizing. One thing I like to do is visualize like cloudy black or gray smoke coming out of my nose, my mouth, my hands. On the exhale, I imagine all that toxic energy leaving, not just leaving, but going into the earth and allowing the earth to recycle that energy, because Earth Mother has the ability to take all of this negativity and all these negative emotions that we're having, and she transmutes that. So feel free to give her all your negative energy.
Mother Earth will definitely take that, and the universe will definitely take that. And Lauren's right in what Lauren's magic is all of that with energy. And I suggest you visit her website, laurenapplewood.com, and book a session with her, because I feel that whenever you're feeling in that heaviness, or you're feeling in that negative space, and you can't see the woods for the trees, as I say all the time, then book a session with us, or book a reading with me. I'm SherSlaterMedium.com, and Lauren's LaurenApplewood.com, and we'd be more than happy. And we are transformational that way. We will get to your core and find out exactly what's going on. You may need a couple of sessions with Lauren. You might only need one session with Lauren. It just depends what your needs are. We cater to all of that, the same as me. You book a session with me. It's very intimate, but it can be sometimes, and Lauren mentioned intense, it can be intense, but that's because it's in your highest good. It's transforming you into your highest good. And I guess I want to touch space on also another thing about releasing, and Lauren so beautifully says that, we release all the time as witches. We release, and I did forget to show my cauldron today, Lauren.
So bring it out.
I'm going to bring out a bit of fun right towards the end, but yeah, get your cauldrons, witches. Get your cauldrons out. And like I've said before, if you've got something that no longer serves you, you can burn it. Put it in your cauldron. So just as I say, don't do this inside, please, although you could. But, if you want your house smoked out, outside, set it out. It's all about starting with the intention. Write what no longer serves you on this, and set it alight and pop it in your cauldron. Take it outside and, like Lauren said, release it to the universe. And with that, if it's a person, then please send them unconditional love, because it's got to be done from your unconditional love space, and just release it out into the universe. And yes, the universe will take care of it. And that's also about setting that intention, and it's releasing, could be releasing a person, could be releasing a workspace, could be releasing something that no longer serves you, whatever's taking you. A pattern, a thought pattern, it could be, I don't know, anything really. You can do it with anything. That's a great thing that I do often. I will take my cauldron outside and just release it to the universe. Mm-hmm. And once it's released, you're going to feel a whole lot higher, lighter, and yes, and it no longer. So it's a great thing. I love my cauldron, and that I use that a lot. So,
I love your cauldron too. I love it.
I love
and
getting.
I've done it myself. So
yes, Lauren does it herself. I love getting my witchy things out at any time, or thing. I will get the witchy stuff out, and Lauren knows that about me. I just love my witchy stuff. As you can see, it's all around me. And yes, and now we'll get on to now opening up your magical space. Now that we've done all the releasing and the clearing,
I do want to mention one more
thing. Yes, sorry, darling. Go ahead.
That's okay. I know you're excited.
Sorry,
I just want to mention one that's been especially helpful for me, aside from the showers and the qigong, and that is yoga and also meditation and visualization. Yeah. So
100%.
The healing energies are already around us. They're already here. They're waiting for us to take hold and use those healing energies. And in one way we can do that is through a visualization. Sometimes you might use a guided meditation for this, but what's most important is to visualize a certain color of energy, depending on what you want to work with. White, bright white is healing and cleansing. Gold is also healing. Gold comes from the earth. And then one of my favorite colors to work with is the violet ray. So it's it does take practice, but keep up the practice because the benefits are amazing. You will, if you imagine a certain color coming in through your crown chakra, going all the way down and intermixing with all the various parts of your body, you watch that color swirl around and go all the way down, and then before you know it, you're enveloped in this violet color. And all I can say is it's extremely powerful because it's there. You just need to visualize it to bring it into reality.
And it's about the movement too, Lauren, isn't it? Like, no, we've spoken about, the magic that you have, but it's about the movement as well. And so,
yes.
Through energy. Yes.
Yeah, through moving the body, whether that be an exercise, HIIT training, walking, or qigong. What it is you're moving energy through your body, but it's not just energy, it's actually emotional energy. It's our own emotions that have gotten stuck here, they've gotten stuck in our stomach, they've gotten stuck in our hips. And so through the practice of gentle stretching, I personally like restorative yoga because it's so gentle and it's so focused on breathing and body awareness. And I just truly feel that the key comes from body awareness and these embodiment practices, because then you become more aware of, what am I holding up here? What is that? And
yes.
how to relax and release it, so that as time goes on, the more practice you have, the more easy you can be like, this doesn't feel right. What is that? Am I doing something to increase this pain, or is it an emotional pattern, or is it a thought pattern that's causing this? It starts with body awareness.
Or is it something, and we're going to talk about that now because you raised another subject which I'm passionate about. I'm wearing red for passion today, so watch out. It's something that you could be holding too that no longer serves you, and we were speaking about releasing things. And so if you hold on to that, and we've spoken about this in other lives, but we'll raise it again because it's significant to this, as if you're holding on to things from your past, and that's not in, it could be in this lifetime, it may even be in things in a previous lifetime that come up in this lifetime. And there's been a fair bit of that going on at the moment, of people are being aware of things that have happened in not maybe in this lifetime, but in past lives that are now presenting in this lifetime, and they come up in a physical ailment, and you wonder why have I got that pain there, or why have I got that pain there? And so, and if that's happening to you, then you can certainly contact Lauren and I, because we're going to get to the core and find out exactly what the truth is there. With me, generally, if it's a fear or something you haven't dealt with, it does manifest into the physical form.
Yes.
And Lauren and I work so magically that way, and we will get there. We will get to your core and help you unlock that and help you release that. And as I said, it can come not on this life plane. It might be something from a past life, which is the magic of us, because we are so transformational that way. And that is our incredible magic, that if you're coming to me and I'm feeling, I'm such an empath, and Lauren's an empath. So if you're coming to me and I'm feeling a pain, particularly somewhere, I'm going to go there like a heartbeat, and find out where that's from, and be able to say, okay, well, it could be this, or it could be a past life that this has been brought to this life that still needs healing and still needs those lessons to learn. And, you know, I'm going to get the boot, Lauren. Uh-oh. Here I go again. Watch out.
Here we go.
Her nice boot up the bum. It'll be done with spirit, but done with my unconditional heart space. You come to me. I will with all of my heart, my unconditional heart, you know, hopefully transform you into your highest good. And for that is my magic and my blessing. And I know Lauren is equally a transformational healer in the work that she does. And yes, we speak about it all the time, that it will manifest in the physical form if you don't work on these things and release them from within. And for us, for the work that we do, it is a great honor that we're able, and we're so humbled to be able to do what we do.
Yes, one of my favorite parts of the healing sessions that I have is when I can address, let's say, a trauma or an event in someone's past, and send healing energy to that, because we often don't know how, not everyone's aware about how these past traumas or events that we've been through, how they affect us in today. And many people don't know you can actually, a trained Reiki practitioner can send this healing energy to your past so that you can live freer in the moment, in the present. And to me, that's one of the most fascinating aspects of the Japanese Reiki tradition that I've learned and have started to incorporate into my work, because, you know, I don't want clients just to come to me for healing to feel better. I actually, you know, am a transformational healer, because I get to the core. I will see the core issue right away. When my hands are above your body, or even on distance, I see everything. I see the past timelines, past lives, past events that are creating issues now in your chakras, and work to balance and clear all that out. And sometimes it does take, you know, 2 or 3 sessions of this past life or past event healing to really take effect in the moment, because a lot of us have deep-seated traumas that we've really carried with us.
I know both Lauren and I work that way, and we do get into past lives. So we are able to have that magic. And I know with some of my clients, they love that because it gives them some answers to this plane. So if you're wanting to connect with us, that's certainly some of our magic, that we can connect into past lives, and we're able to help you that way, and clarify what you may have been seeing in your dreams, or you're seeing spiritually, or you're feeling that way. And that's another part of our magic, that we are able to get to the core and find out what your past lives were, because both Lauren and I know our own past lives and have guides from the past lives. And that's how we ourselves have healed ourselves, to be able to create this magic and be in the magic that we create around our realms now on this plane. And yeah, so if you're wanting to go into a past life, Lauren and I are certainly able to help you with that, because that is our magic as well. So
now we didn't just jump into this work
no,
without doing the healing on ourselves first.
That's right.
And that takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight or over a few weeks. It takes a lot of work to actually heal yourself. And there's so many different healing techniques. I happen to be familiar with, you know, just a couple of them. And I have found them to be most helpful in my life, to getting to a point where, you know, I've overcome a lot of those struggles and I'm a completely different person today, right? And I don't have to act or repeat behaviors that I've repeated over and over again, because I know better now. I know what it feels like to feel healed and whole. And when someone comes into my life that is not totally aligned with my spirituality or with where I'm going in my life, like, do our goals match, or are you done developing at 45 years old, or would you like to keep looking inward? And it's the people that want to keep looking inward and growing and understanding more about themselves. Those are the people I work with.
I think as even as psych, you know, as professional mediums, Lauren and I work professionally, and let me tell you, both of us continue our development. We continue our development because we're spirit in this body. We're spirit in this body. We've come back into this plane to learn the lessons, and the magic is that you keep learning. You know, that's the excitement. Lauren and I just are so passionate about learning, and we learn off ourselves. We also self-educate, but we also learn off our beautiful clients and the beautiful people that come into our realms, because they come in so unexpected sometimes, but it is the most beautiful thing on the planet, and we are incredibly blessed. And it's interesting we're talking about this spiritual stuff, because I do want to just touch on the new moon, the full moon rather, that's coming on Monday here in Australia, so it'll be Tuesday for you, I think. And that's about, it's interesting with us talking about this because it's actually focusing on relationships. The full moon's focusing on relationships, and it's the connections with our female friends. And this can also include lunar interpretations. So that's very interesting, and it's to do with the scales as well. So it's keeping us in balance. So it's interesting we're talking about this because we're actually feeling the full moon. For us, you know, it's Monday, so it's not too far away, and it's usually a week before and a week after with the full moon. And it's about a constant, it's the seeking of the constant balance in our life and in our world, and to find that sweet spot between the ups and downs and the right and wrong and the love and indifference. So it is quite apt that we're doing this right at this moment. But let's talk about opening up this magical space. Lauren, let's talk about opening up the magical space and how we do.
What do we do when we've cleansed our bodies and cleansed our lives of these toxic people? And it's
because you're feeling really good, you're feeling lighter, and then you're going, okay, what do we do next?
Well, what I think is the most important thing to do next is to get clear on what your desires and your intentions are for the next week, for the next month, for the day, for the year. Do whatever you feel most comfortable for you, but it's important to get clear. Why? Otherwise, we're going to keep inviting the same energies into our lives, whether we're aware of it or not. And that is because we haven't consciously changed where we're going. We haven't consciously changed who we're looking for in a partner. If all I say is, well, I don't want someone like that, well, you're going to get a whole bunch of other things that you may not want or like in your life, right, Cher?
That's right. Yeah. It's about setting the intention, and also I'm the biggest manifester on the planet. I feel like I'm the biggest manifester on the planet sometimes, but I can't tell you how the power of manifesting what you want. Now you've cleared the energy, lighter, and now you want to bring something into your realm and into your world that you really want. And it can be anything. We've spoken about, we have a series that we've done on manifesting.
Go watch it, because that'll
go watch it. Go onto YouTube and check us out, because we've spoken that we've had other tips there as well. It's also on my website, showslatermedium.com, and it's also on Lauren's website, laurenapplewood.com. So I can't say the power of manifesting in your journal what you want, be very, very specific. This is a powerful tool that you're using, and then you can put your crystals on it and put it into the moonlight and let it cook for a while, but be very specific on what you want to manifest in your realm, and it's got to be for your highest intention, and it can only be for you, not for anybody else. And within you is the divine capacity to manifest and attract all you desire. At any given moment, you have the power to say, this is not how the story is going to end. Every thought you think is creating your reality. You must believe in the power of your words, or of your intentions, of your own magic. You hold this within you. Once you believe, all things appear differently. Everyone has the power to be magical. Belief can be transformational into reality. And I think that in itself is just exactly encompasses what Lauren and I do.
Find people that have your similar energy, your similar goals, similar desires, and sometimes that's really hard to do, and we have to put ourselves out there into like meetup groups or Facebook groups to hook up with people that are more aligned with who we are and where we're going. And if there's anyone or anything in your life that has shown you that they do not agree or they do not follow the same path, hey, you know what, that's fine, but how close are you going to want this person to you? Those are just things to think about.
Absolutely. And don't forget the intention. And I'm going to say it again. I know I've said it in the video. I've said this in our live, but I'm going to say it again, Lauren. I want you to get out your mirror. And we're going to say, and I get my clients to do this every day if possible. I say it every day because we're setting the intention. And Lauren and I work from our unconditional love heart space. So I'm going to say it again in the power, because I know how powerful the word is, and I know how the power of me is, and I know how the power of Lauren is, and I know internationally that we can send this love around the world because this is how we work in an unconditional space. But if you can get in front of the mirror every day and say to yourself, I am worthy of unconditional love. I send unconditional love. I surround myself with unconditional love, for I am unconditional love. And just in that power and the energy that actually holds within you, that's the magic of you. And that's I'm wearing the red today. That's because I'm passionate about that.
So glad, Cher. Yeah, thank you for sharing all these wonderful tips with us.
I know, little witchy wisdom tips, WitCher wisdom. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I guess that wraps it up for us, Lauren, tonight and this afternoon. Have you got anything else to add, my darling?
I don't think so. No, just visit my website if you have any questions, want to know more about, what I do and how I do it. Go visit, go to the contact form, send me questions, look through all the services, see if there's anything you like.
Absolutely. Come and visit both of us. Our websites are at the bottom if you're watching this back on a live, on a feed later on, because we did sort of pop up spontaneity. That's a bit of fun and passionate in itself. That's why
how we are.
We were just a bit spontaneous today, and we thought we'd pop in during the week. And as I said, watch out for us. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Wherever you want to find us, you can find me, showslatermedium.com. That's my website, laurenapplewood.com. But certainly if you can't find us, just Google us, for goodness sake, because we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're on YouTube channels. Go and check out our YouTube channels and like and follow it, because we'd love to have you follow us. And certainly you can contact us in an email, or you can book a session with me. And Lauren has all her services on her website, and we'd love to see you in that forum as well, because it is in your highest good. And so we send lots of love to you from our unconditional hearts to everyone around the world. And this is our absolute bliss and our honor to present these every week. All right. Much love.
Beautiful. Thank you, Cher.
Have a beautiful evening and a great afternoon wherever you are around the world. And much love. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Blessed be.